NCIS Season 22 is teasing a major threat to Tim McGee's family, potentially leading to the death of his wife, Delilah. With McGee already facing a growing conflict with Gabriel L Ro, the new deputy director and a potential villain, Delilah's life could be in danger as L Ro seeks revenge on McGee. This storyline echoes past tragedies in NCIS, such as the deaths of key characters' loved ones. While killing off Delilah would add emotional depth to McGee's arc, it would also reinforce the notion that MCRT agents can't maintain happy personal lives. Such a major plot shift could revitalize McGee's character but risks damaging the show's legacy of safety and stability for its core team. NCIS Season 22 is teasing a major McGee death, and that's worrying for Sean Murray's future as Tim. NCIS Season May 22 be setting up a major death in the McGee family that could be devastating for Sean Murray's Tim. After a packed Season 21 due to its shortened year in light of the dual Hollywood strikes of 2023, CBS' longest-running police procedural is back with more episodes, which allows the show to not only lean on its weekly cases but also give its characters their respective arcs. Alden Parker, Jessica Knight, Jimmy Palmer, and even Nick Torres have their own overarching storylines unfolding, but arguably the most interesting narrative is Tim McGee's. In NCIS Season 22, Episode 1, the major case response team was at an odd place, with Knight in Camp Pendleton and Torres undercover. While both storylines were immediately resolved in the same outing, it also set up an interesting future for Tim as he vied for a significant promotion to be the deputy director of the agency. There was no doubt that he was qualified for the job, but he failed to secure the promotion, with the role ending up being awarded to Gabriel L Ro, who is shaping up to be a dangerous villain in NCIS Season 22. Delilah's NCIS return involves her in McGee's fight against L Ro. McGee's wife is about to make an appearance in NCIS Season 22. As part of McGee's ongoing story, NCIS Season 22 is confirmed to bring back Delilah, Margot Harshman, Tim's longtime wife in the episode Killer Instinct. It's uncertain when exactly the outing will air, but producer Stephen D. Binder has already shared plot details about it, including how it ties to the mole storyline in Navy Yard. As it turns out, the McGees will meet Gabriel and his wife. Considering Delilah's relationship with Tim and MCRT, not to mention her own arc as a capable Department of Defense employee, the burgeoning conflict directly involves her after the confirmed encounter. Beyond that, Binder has also offered some information about what's to come from the L Ro situation, which has been sidelined for most of this year, until his re-emergence in the NCIS Season 22 mid-season finale. When asked by TV Insider if viewers need to be concerned about MCRT's jobs, considering the deputy director's suspicious activities, he revealed that the danger is far bigger than the team being booted out. Instead, it could be life and death. NCIS is not new to these kinds of tragedies. Tim himself has had multiple near-death experiences, but it may be different this time. Delilah's life may be on the line in NCIS Season 22. L Ro could play dirty. As someone who has worked with MCRT before and also has a high-profile job, Delilah is not new to dangerous environments. In fact, it was an attack that NCIS failed to stop right away that caused her to be paralyzed from the waist down. Still, she is one of the best supporting characters in the show, as she has remained steadfast in her career and personal life. So, it's likely that she is well aware of her husband's work woes, particularly his growing suspicion of L Ro, something that was established all the way back in the NCIS Season 22 premiere. With Tim at the forefront of the investigation against him, it isn't outside the realm of possibility that he becomes retaliatory and targets the McGees, particularly Delilah. At this point, it's still unclear if L Ro is doing nefarious himself. That said, NCIS Season 22 setting him up to be the year's big bad suggests that he could do some major damage, especially given the power and position he holds in the agency. Anyone defying him could get in trouble, and with Tim's ongoing fight, Delilah could be collateral damage. It isn't difficult to imagine that NCIS Season 22 would hurt Delilah for the sake of a good story. For what it's worth, this isn't the first time that NCIS would kill an important character to a core cast member. Years before the events of the flagship series, Leroy Jethro Gibbs lost his first wife and daughter in a heartbreaking tragedy, something that is central to NCIS origin story. More recently, Jimmy Palmer's wife, Brina, died during the coronavirus pandemic. All these considered, it isn't difficult to imagine that NCIS Season 22 would hurt Delilah for the sake of a good story. Why killing off Delilah is a good move for NCIS Season 22 but bad for its legacy. It will reinforce a bad notion about MCRT. Killing Delilah would be devastating, especially after Ducky's death in NCIS Season 21. The procedural has said goodbye to so many characters in the last few years, with the latest being MCRT's longtime medical examiner. While Delilah isn't a main character in NCIS, she has been an integral part of the show because of her ties to Tim for years. Out of the NCIS Season 22 core ensemble, Tim is also the only one who maintains a relatively happy family home. At this point, Murray plays the show's main character after the departures of all the other NCIS original cast members. His personal life is as important as his professional growth. Out of the NCIS Season 22 core ensemble, Tim is also the only one who maintains a relatively happy family home. Breaking that would be tragically heartbreaking and a reinforcement of the idea that those who work for MCRT are unable to have a healthy life outside of work. On the flip side, killing Delilah would give Tim's arc, which has become stagnant in the last few years, some new life. Granted that he has this burgeoning fight with LaRoche, but increasing the stakes by involving Delilah would be a great way to set up a resolution that is show-changing, something that NCIS hasn't really done in a while. There have been departures from the series, but most of them have been expected. Will NCIS Season 22 really kill off Delilah? It would be a return to classic NCIS. In its more than 2 decades on the air, NCIS has changed in various ways. The TV landscape is now very different from when it first started in 2003, and to be able to stay relevant while also maintaining production cost, it had to go with the times. That said, there's also longing for the show's earliest years, when it felt like no one was safe. Caitlin Todd's unexpected death established this in the NCIS Season 2 finale, making it clear that the police procedural wasn't shying away from such tragedies.